Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your March 2018 general reading. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Welcome to any and all newcomers, and thank you to those of you who continue to like, share, subscribe, and take the time to send in your support, feedback, and comments. Always welcome. Thank you so much, and always a big thank you to my clients as well, both my regular clients and my new clients, for keeping me so busy with those personal one-on-one readings. And if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me and you haven't read with me before, you've forgotten the information, you can go to my YouTube channel's homepage, click on the About button for more information and my contact details, which you will also find attached to the description of all the videos that I post. You can email me directly at maggie1maguire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you. I do readings full-time, 5 to 6 days a week. It is what I do, so turnaround time for scheduling is pretty fast. Usually within a 2-week period of time, sometimes a little sooner, but almost always within a 2-week period of time, we can set up a reading for you live or recorded. I do love and romance, career, work, and finance, spirituality, messages from passed on loved ones, as well as a few others. And I do specific chartings for things like compatibility for relationships and couples, reconciliations, and 6 and 12-month overviews to take a look at what's coming ahead in your life for 6 or 12 months, depending on how far ahead you want to look. So if you're interested, send me an email and we'll go from there. If you're not looking for the more traditional, in-depth, intensive readings, you just want a quick question to a quick answer, or a quick couple of questions that you want a couple of quick answers to, you're just looking for a really fast read, you have a decision you need to make really quickly, or something you want to look at, you can connect with me more immediately on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy, and that link is also included with all the rest of my contact info. Okay, so let's get into this. This reading is for excuse me, the air sign of Aquarius for the month of March 2018. Seems like it's flying by. So Aquarius are water bearers, the air sign of Aquarius. Let's see what March has in store for you. Okay, Aquarius. We begin with the Two of Wands, with the World. We have the Ten of Cups with the Nine of Wands. We have the Six of Swords with the Ten of Swords. And we have the Magician with the Five of Pentacles. And from the bottom of the deck, your overall energy and guidance is the Nine of Cups. Wow, Aquarius, it looks like you are definitely moving through and away from something. Looks like something has come to a pretty significant end for you in your life. Significant because we have the World card, which is the last card in the tarot. It represents a major significant ending because it's a major arcana card, so the energies are always more profound. God, Spirit, your angels, and guides. In the tarot, we begin with the Fool, which is the 0, and then we end with the World, and everything in between is about the Fool's journey, i.e. our journey through life and how we grow and mature and evolve and learn, trial and error and all that stuff. And then we end with the World reaching the top of a mountain. So this represents a really significant ending. You also have 2 tens, which in the tarot, tens represent cycles ending, or something coming to an achievement or a culmination point where you can begin something else or branch off into something else. You have 2 tens. You have the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Swords. This is emotions, feelings, relationship area of your life. And Swords is how we think. It's our words and our ideas and our belief systems, how we look at things, what our perspectives and perceptions are, and how that affects the way that we communicate, because it's air energy. It's all about what goes on up here, intellectual, cerebral, internal energy. So definitely something is coming to an end, or something is culminating. There's a sense of achievement. And I actually feel like whatever it is that you've overcome or have put behind you or are in the process of putting behind you this month was something difficult, and I feel like it had to do with another person or a group of people that perhaps may have hurt you or disappointed you quite badly. And you know, these are general readings, which is why we always usually advise people to check their rising and their moon sign if they know them. Check those videos as well, because they can give you additional insight, or they may play out more predictably. General readings can be kind of tricky because there's so many of you watching. For some of you, this may resonate for you in like the love and romance area of your life. For others, it may be friends and family. For others of you, it could be career, work, and finance too. I mean, the Ten of Swords can represent betrayal, unexpected betrayal, or really deep sense of unexpected, really deep disappointment. And I have seen that come up in career and work readings. If you got made redundant or got laid off or got passed up for that promotion, they gave it to somebody else. So again, regardless of what area of your life this resonates in, the energy remains the same. It looks like you're walking away or leaving something behind as well. And it is that heartbreak and heartache, or maybe a sense of betrayal for you, because the Six of Swords crowns the Ten of Swords. So particularly in how you look at something, because remember, swords is about how we look at things, our perspectives and our belief systems, what we really believe about things. It's all about our ideas, which we take with us wherever we go. The Six of Swords is the first card. And while for the beginning of the month generals, I do 2 cards per week typically, so there's 8 cards for the beginning of the month generals with an additional 9th from the bottom of the deck. And I do that because I try to connect it with the energy from week to week. Even though time I always feel is kind of fluid, it might be earlier for some of you or a little later. For the majority of you, I feel like all of this energy in these cards is kind of sums up one situation that you're going through for the entire month. So the Six of Swords is a card of primarily of healing, peace, restoration. It's about moving out of a time that's been perhaps painful or challenging or chaotic for you, because if you could see the water behind this boat that she's sailing out of, it would be very turbulent and choppy. She's moving into waters which are more peaceful, stable, serene. It has a strong energy to peace and healing, and sometimes the healing process can have its own, you know, pain or somber moments. I mean, if you think about, you know, when you get sick or when you have a surgery, you're healing. Some days are better than others. There's still some days where you feel that pain, but generally you're moving through that process, because the Six of Swords is transitional energy. You've left the worst behind you. You're not quite to the other shore yet and on solid ground, but you're definitely moving towards that. There's a sense of peace, quiet peace and healing and restoration. Moving away from, because the Ten of Swords clarifies that Six of Swords, whatever I mean, the Ten of Swords often represents betrayal, or it's called the stabbed in the back card because of the artwork that generally depicts it on a lot of different tarots. But the positive aspects of it is that tens represent the end. Whatever happened to put this man face down on the ground, whatever betrayal or pain you've been going through lately, Aquarius, it's over. The worst is behind you. It's not going to happen again. You can see that there's a healing light shining through these swords. The sun is rising in the background, a new day is dawning, and the animals are beginning to return to the scene. So it is definitely a time of moving away from whatever this challenging or painful period or sense of betrayal has been in your life. You're moving through that in the month of March, and something is really coming to a pretty significant end. We have the Ten of Cups and the Nine of Wands here as well. Here's another 10, although this is emotion. Cups is water energy. That's the element which governs this suit in the tarot. And in the tarot, this is usually about the energy of cups is feelings, emotions. It's also the area of our life that deals with relationships. The Ten of Cups is actually often nicknamed the Happily Ever After card or the Happy Home card. It represents a culmination, reaching a point in your life where you feel like everything's kind of come together in a really beautiful, feeling abundant and fulfilled kind of way, particularly in connection with home and family. It can represent, you know, marriage, weddings, children, childbirth, some kind of achievement phase which connects to home and family in a really beautiful way, like finally the pieces have come together. It can also link directly to property, but that's more about the Ten of Pentacles. So there's some kind of culmination phase or some kind of phase or some chapter that's come to an end or a completion stage in regards to home and family. And you have really, and for some of you, this is coming to an end because of your persistence and perseverance in pushing through, because that's what the Nine of Wands, which clarifies that Ten of Cups, represents. I like to call this the 11th hour card, or it's darkest before dawn, because it can represent wanting to be done, because we're at the 9 here. Tens represent, you know, cycles ending, achievement. Nines can represent being very close, and you can see this soldier who's fought already a number of battles. He's already tired and kind of worn out. He's run into another obstacle, challenge, delay, hurdle, whatever this grouping of wands may represent for you, Aquarius. And he's, you know, maybe a bit frustrated, taking a step back, you know, maybe feeling like giving up, maybe going, why is this here? How do I get through this? You know, I just want it to be done. I want this to be over with. Maybe feeling a bit discouraged and depressed and taken by surprise. And it is right next to the Ten of Swords. There is sometimes an unexpected element, like, why did this crop up? And the Ten of Swords, of course, is unexpected pain or betrayal. So there could be something happening, or something that's happened recently, and that's taken you off guard and really caused you some pain, some anguish. And it could have to do, for a lot of you, something to do with home and family. I mean, it can be in love and romance. It can be within the family system itself. Maybe your home or your family suffered a serious setback of some kind. You may feel discouraged and like giving up, but the accompanying advice to the Nine of Wands is always don't give up. Push through, because even if you can't see it, you're very close. You're just about there. And I feel like a lot of you will know this. Even if you don't know it now, you're going to know this. You're moving through and away from this challenging arena, and you're looking ahead at what lies ahead. You may be looking at your long-term goals, or making new and different long-term goals, or making adjustments or changes to long-term goals, because we end February and begin March with the Two of Wands and the World. And all this ending energy is kind of going through the month. The Two of Wands is about looking down the road at long-term goals, choosing a path, knowing where you're going to go, choosing those long-term goals, and then choosing the path that best leads you towards those long-term goals. What lies ahead? What's your big picture? What do you really want? Because something has come to a very significant end with the World card, and it definitely represents moving out of a time period, even if it wasn't like heartache and betrayal or that sort of pain, something that was very challenging and maybe a bit unstable. But I feel like for a lot of you, someone hurt you, or a group of people hurt you. They may have made you feel, they may have left you feeling kind of maybe rejected or abandoned or not good enough or shut out somehow. At or towards the end of the month, we have the Magician and the Five of Pentacles. So the Magician is a very powerful, independent card. He kind of goes his own way. The Magician is, he's walked a long road, and he's practiced and learned on that road. So he's reached a point in his craft, because he's a magician. He's reached a point, because of how hard he's worked, that he's very good at what he does now. He has all the tools, the knowledge, the experience, the wisdom, the know-how to create and build and manifest whatever he wants to. And he knows he can do it all by himself. In fact, if the Magician has a challenge, it's probably sometimes in working with other people, because he's gone his own road. He knows what works for him, and he probably thinks that's the best way. It's a very independent energy, and it's an energy that represents kind of taking your own will and determination and knowledge and skills and resources and tools, and manifesting and manifesting those. Externalizing those, manifesting those in an external way to create and build and manifest whatever you want, like making your actual ideas and dreams into reality with the work and the knowledge and the experience that you already have. And it can be a card of doing that on your own, or going your own way to do it. And it's crowning the Five of Pentacles, which is a card that can represent insufficiency and lack. in money and finances, it can represent, you know, not having enough money or being laid off. I mean, some of you, it could be that something has come to an end, whether in a negative or in a positive way, and maybe towards the end of the month, you may just decide to, the Magician is very much an entrepreneur. You may just decide to start your own business, go your own way on a project, you know, just walk your own path, because you know you can do it on your own. You don't really need somebody else to create what you want. So it can represent that for some of you. You're just going off on your own. In relationships, or and by relationships I mean it can be love and romance, or with friends and family. The Five of Pentacles can represent sometimes being shut out, feeling not a part of, feeling maybe abandoned, rejected, not good enough. So again, you may be just deciding, you know, I'm going to go my own way for a while, and I'm perfectly all right with doing that, because I have everything that I need to manifest my own happiness in life as well. A little bit of cautionary advice for a handful of you. The Magician can be a very self-absorbed sort of energy, and the Five of Pentacles can sometimes, particularly in relationships, represent passing up someone or something that's right in front of you that actually is a really good thing, but you dismiss it just on the first glance without taking a closer look at it. So make sure that you don't do that. Your overall energy and guidance is the Nine of Cups, which is beautiful. It's the wish fulfillment card. It's a card of having your cups running over, abundance, particularly in a physical or material kind of way, and just wanting to kind of share that with friends and family. You know, I'm actually kind of feeling, Aquarius, that whatever it is you're coming through, you're putting behind you and coming through, it feels like a victory, like you've won some kind of victory. It could be in regards to a person or a group of people, or just a situation, or maybe you've completed and achieved a big major project or something in your life that you worked really hard at, and maybe even thought you were going to fail for a while, but you pushed through. There's some sense of victory, a hard-won victory, but a victory nonetheless. And you've come to this completion point. You're looking ahead at what what the next step is, or what your long-term goals is, or changing long-term goals, or coming up with some new ones, because something is coming to an end. There is a sense of overriding abundance, and a sense of whatever's coming, whatever's ended, and that's coming in new, whatever. There's been a sense of victory or achievement. It's definitely taking you out of a place that's been maybe a bit turbulent and chaotic, some of you painful even, where you may have been feeling, you know, very shut out or kind of down on yourself. And at the end of the month, you're just like, you're off on your own path, you're off and running, you're doing your own thing. And it's just it's a powerful energy. It's like you fell down, they kicked you while you were down, you thought you were done, but you decided to push through it anyway, and you have come back with a vengeance. Success is the sweetest victory, and at the end of the month, you're like, see you later, suckers, and you're out of there. That's kind of what it feels like. It's like, I almost get this sense, Aquarius, at the end of the month, you're like, told you I'd make it, see you later. That's kind of what I'm getting, which is kind of unusual for you Aquarians, you lovely air sign, I'm thinking about it kind of individual. So good for you, Aquarius. Thumbs up for you, and you can give them the thumbs up too. So Aquarius, that pretty much wraps up your March 2018 general reading. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope that at least some of you found it useful, because that's why we do these readings. Again, if any of you are more interested in a personal one-on-one tailored just for you reading, you can go to my YouTube channel's homepage, click on that About button for more information and my contact info, which you'll also find attached to the description bar of every video I post, for more immediate connections to quick questions and answers. You can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Iris Gypsy, and my profile link to that is also with all my contact info. So Aquarius, I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the March 2018 mid-month readings, and until then, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. Take care, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.